Hi everyone, it's Matt Carter here. Just wanted to record a quick video to talk about the some of the changes that are happening at Google. It's been quite an interesting last week or so, and Google's made some changes like they always do, but these ones have been more noticeable. Google sent out over 700,000, apparently 700,000 messages to people's Webmaster Tools account, claiming somewhat of a warning for unnatural looking backlinks. Now this is something that is quite controversial. People have always said in the SEO side of the fence, so you got the Google side of the fence and then the SEO side of the fence, said that Google will never do this because it would cause chaos on the internet, because you start to develop what's called negative SEO, which is where companies will you pay for a service, and that service is to send really bad low quality links to your competitor's website, and obviously that could have a pretty nasty effect. If everyone just joined up to these negative SEO services and just blasted their competitors with a whole lot of garbage links, that would be a problem. The only thing that I foresee though about that is it's possible that that what Google's doing is not penalizing sites, but just not counting the links. So if you've got a whole bunch of links from a place that Google now sees as unnatural, or not your buying links, and they may just not count those links anymore. And so that would counter the argument of negative SEO, because if your competitor just decided to send 10,000 pornography links to your website, or whatever type of spammy links to your website, instead of getting a penalty, Google might just ignore the impact that those links have. So if you've got a bit of a bump up initially from those links, it might just come straight back down again, back to where you were. Or there's a possibility that Google may put in a penalty. I don't know at this stage. I don't think really anybody does, to be honest, but it would make a lot more sense that it would be more of a devaluation of the links rather than a penalty as such, because penalties could cause all sorts of chaos on the internet, because I'm sure you'll see a lot more negative SEO companies popping up all over the place. So that's what's going on with Google. So let me just talk about some of the things. Now, the death of blog networks, I've put a question mark there, because I'm not saying that all blog networks are dead, because they may well not be. But and I still use blog networks, but some of them have been destroyed by Google. Some of them have been completely ruined, and one of them, as I mentioned on my blog, Matt's Marketing blog, where this video has been embedded, is Build My Rank. Build My Rank is a very popular blog network that no longer exists. It had tens of thousands of sites, and now it's gone. Google's uncovered the Build My Rank network and de-indexed all of them. So if you heavily relied on Build My Rank, now you will be pretty sad, because you would have lost a lot of links and a lot of rankings and traffic and ultimately income. So the key really is to diversify, and I want to talk about what to do now, in case some of you are concerned. The first thing I would say is don't over-optimize your site. This is a slight sidetrack, but one of the key things, your sites have got to look natural, and if you're not doing natural link building, then you need to at least disguise it to look as natural as possible. So what I started doing a couple of months ago was varying up a lot more of my anchor text to my website, so it doesn't look identical. Anything that, statistically, if you looked at a snapshot of someone's anchor text of the links coming in, I'm pretty sure it'd be very low of them being all, not all, even I don't know, 10% being the same. What are the chances? They're pretty low. So I really dramatically reduced the amount of exact anchor text to minimal now. Whereas it's just better to get a link, even if it says click here. I started implementing click here is fine to get a link, and that was always almost like the holy grail of what not to do. Don't ever get a link that says click here, but it does happen. And on my blog, it's a lot of natural links, and I get some click here's, and I get a lot of just a straight URL. And all sorts of different types of anchor text. So really be careful how much you over-optimize your web pages, your on-page SEO, and your backlinks, because that's pretty obvious you're not getting natural-looking links. So here's a quick rundown, and I'm only going to do a snapshot of the things. I'm not going to give away everything that I think is the best thing to do now. I'm going to be opening up a membership site soon where I'll reveal more of this sort of stuff to those members. But for now, here's a quick run through of some of the points. You really got to diversify your links. Don't rely on one place only to get your links. If you just got all your links from something like Build My Rank, you're going to be in a bad state right now. And diversification doesn't mean just joining more blog networks, because they could well go the way of Build My Rank very soon as well. And some blog networks are a higher risk than others, and ones like Build My Rank, you'd have to put them in the highest risk category because they own all their own domains, and that can tend to leave a bit of a footprint for Google to uncover. So you've got to be careful of that sort of thing. But I think you've got to get links, and what I do is you've got to get links from lots of different places, and that doesn't mean just forced paid links, but a lot of us do that. But just make sure you get a variety of different kinds of links. I've always been saying that to people. Don't just have one source for all your links. That's really dumb. It's really high risk, and this should be a wake-up call to people that are doing that. If you just relied on Build My Rank almost in a lazy sort of fashion, you would not be very happy right now. You've got to get a mixture of different types of links. And ways to do that are white hat, that are fine, that Google likes, is guest blogging. There's lots of places you can go to guest blog. I'll just show you some now. There's sites like this which help connect you with people that want guest blog posts. It's like myblogguest.com, bloggerlinkup.com, and Group Hi. It's another type of style one where you can connect. But just start with something like this, community of guest bloggers at my blog guest, and start posting and writing good content for other sites. And it's a little bit more time consuming, but you can get good quality white hat links that Google likes, and you won't have a problem with getting these, having any problems with getting these sites de-indexed or anything, because they're proper sites that want good quality content. You can't give them garbage. They won't accept that. Another thing is link bait. Have some stuff on your site that's actually really interesting that people would like to link to. This can be in the form of like a quiz or a game or a really cool video or infographics, or just some things that are cool that are not just basic text. And especially if you're just doing text, it's got to be interesting. You can't just have this low quality content that nobody naturally wants to link to. You've got to start creating content that will attract people to want to link back to you. And really cool videos can do that. Record a really cool video for your niche. That's going to get people's attention. They're going to want to link to that video on your page. Or be creative and find other cool things, and just think, what would be really cool on my website that would want to get people to link to me? That's what link bait's all about. The more of that sort of stuff you do, the better off your better looking your backlink profile is going to be. Social media, make sure you're getting your Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and also using video more. I just said that for a link bait, but you can get traffic from YouTube, and you can have more of a presence. In the internet, if Google sees that you've got a social media presence, a video presence, and you've got links coming in from multiple different video sites, even if they're no follow, that's fine. It looks more normal, and this does take a little bit more work. But if you go the extra mile, it'll pay off for you. But putting out videos, taking some of your content that's really good content, turning it into a video and posting it to video sites. That's something I'm just about to do once I get off recording this very video. I'm going to do another one for my niche site as well, one of my niche sites. And press releases. I use PR Web. There's other services you can use out there. PR Web's slightly more expensive, but do some research and learn how to do press releases, because press releases is another fine, white hat way to get good links to your site. Now, there's a lot of different ways to get backlinks that I haven't talked about in this video, so don't think this is the only thing I'm doing. I still do other things like your article directories and forums and blogs. But the take-home message from this particular video really is that you need to diversify your link building, and using blog networks, you don't want to rely on them too heavily. Now, some blog networks out there are still good to go and good, but just think through, how popular are these blog networks, and how well disguised is the footprint that they're using, because like Build My Rank, if it becomes too obvious, the whole thing will be brought down. So if you're going to use those blog networks, which I still do use, make sure you're mixing it up with these more natural looking links as well, so you have an overall better looking backlink profile, and you're spreading the risk. And ultimately, the more of these types of link bait and blog, guest blogging. These are the sorts of things that Google like anyway. So that's the end of this short video. I just wanted to throw that out there. If you need any more information, head over to mattsmarketingblog.com.